As the founding director of the Families in Sport Lab, I get to do a lot of fun things. One of those is doing a lot of research with Aspen Institute. But in addition to studying with them, I'm also the very proud father to two young aspiring athletes myself, Josie and Bridger. And I tell you what, they do it all, you guys. They do soccer, basketball, flag football, track and field, dance, hockey, you name it, they're doing it. Their primary sport is ski racing, and they spend 100+ days a year chasing snow. And the best part about that, for me and for my wife and our whole family, is that we get to chase it with them. You see, sport in our household is truly a family endeavor. But it's not just our household. Research tells us that 90% of youth are going to participate in sport at some point across adolescence. And I tell you what, that's a really important statistic, and it's important in an era where we see unstructured play in our neighborhoods dramatically decreasing. And in an era where we see daily physical education in our schools only being offered to 6 to 8% of our youth. As a result, organized sport has become really important for families because parents become the first and the most important people in the lives of their young athletes. The most salient determinants in whether or not their kids get to play, but more importantly, what benefit they take from their participation. Today, 35% of young people say they're spending more time and more money in youth sports than they did prior to the pandemic just 3 years ago. In short, organized sport is expanding its valuation in American society. But how families choose to engage in youth sport will determine the outcomes of that participation. Perhaps the greatest impact, at least in my mind, of youth sport is the provision of time. Engaging in sport allows families the opportunity to spend time together, to get to know one another, and it allows parents to be present in the ongoing development of their youth. We don't get to watch our kids study for that chemistry exam. We don't get to see them in the after-school art club. We oftentimes don't get to see them as they rehearse for that music recital or play at recess with their friends. But we do get to see them in organized sport. This is an important opportunity that can't be wasted. Recent research from Project Play suggests that American youth participate in sport on average 3 days a week. With a round-trip drive, of let's say 30 minutes, this is an extra hour and a half that American parents get to spend with their kids, and I said get to, not have to, in the car every week. For my crew, we live out west, longer drives, it's about 6 hours a week. That's 300 hours a year I get with my kids in the car because of sports. On our drives, I've learned about their areas of confidence and vulnerability. I've learned about insights about their friends, teammates, and coaches. And most importantly, I've learned who Josie might be crushing on any given day. She's going to kill me for that. Perhaps the most tangible reason that sport is important to families is because of its potential to positively impact our physical, mental, and social health. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, sport creates a strong foundation for a lifetime of physical health by mitigating the risk of obesity and diabetes, by promoting healthy muscles and bones, and by boosting metabolism. We know this. All of us know this in the room. Why then, in the United States, are our youth still characterized by low levels of physical health? In fact, only 1 in 4 children are meeting the recommended weekly guidelines for physical activity in our country today. When youth engage in sport, a virtuous cycle gets unleashed. As you can see in the infographic here from Project Play, kids who are physically active are less likely to be obese, less likely to do drugs, and less likely to suffer from a range of chronic diseases later in life. They're more likely to go to college, and they're more likely to become active adults. And as active adults, they're more likely to parent active children. And therein lies the generational benefit of youth sports. Sport, physical activity, recreation, capital S, big sport. It offers us opportunities to do fun things together, whether that's driveway hoops, whether that's playing at a local park, or whether it's an adventure vacation. Beyond the physical benefits, sport also has the potential to enhance children's mental health. There's increasing evidence that Generation Z youth are experiencing higher levels of health problems than their near peers in previous generations. And this is where sport comes in. Kids who are physically active are less likely to experience anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation. New research from Old Dominion University found that children who are physically inactive are twice as likely to experience mental health problems as those who meet weekly recommendations. And follow-up research from University College London suggests that these effects carry into adulthood. Indeed, mental health outcomes can be enhanced by all sorts of structured and unstructured play. So as it turns out, sport might just now be the best medicine after all. Sport is also powerful in that it strengthens our social health by promoting belonging, support, and communication. Sport is rife with the potential for interactions among coaches, athletes, and their parents. And these interactions are important and meaningful in that they occur in a setting that has a ton of social significance in our culture. According to the American Journal of Health Promotion, meaningful daily interactions contribute to lower levels of loneliness, stronger and more durable relationships, and thriving in self-esteem. In fact, science has shown that when adults and children interact, the hormone oxytocin is released. Oxytocin is associated with trust and relationship building, and it counteracts the effects of anxiety and depression while reducing the likelihood of chronic disease. All good stuff. From my perspective as a parent, though, the most important thing for families and the best thing about youth sports is that it provides a safe space for the learning of life's important lessons. My family is a skiing family. And when Josie and Bridger were beginners, we had a mantra: falling is learning. They embodied this lesson so much that they actually enjoyed falling. What kid doesn't? But my two little perfectionists enjoyed falling so much, okay, because they didn't equate it with failing. They equated it with learning, with getting better, with maximizing their potential, and yeah, with having a little fun in the powder, okay? Falling is learning. It was so powerful for my guys. And ultimately, that's what sport provides for all of us: an opportunity to test our limits, to find out where our ceiling is, and to do so in a way that leaves us ready to take on the real world whenever and however it comes our way. But it's important for all of us, all 600 of us here today, as proponents of youth sport, to remember that sport is not inherently positive. Outcomes and experiences are complex. They depend on various characteristics of the athlete, of their significant others, and of the settings that surround them. But when designed and delivered appropriately, there are certain transferable lessons that can make our young children, better adults. Goal setting, problem solving, teamwork, and humility, just to name a few. Family relationships are essential in the learning of these life lessons. You see, sport is not good or bad. It just is. It's up to us as the adults in the room, or in this case, in the family, to ensure and pave the way for our children's successes later in life and for their physical, mental, and social growth. An ironic characteristic of youth sport today is that many of the children who could most benefit from its engagement have the fewest opportunities to do so. The recent National Survey of Children's Health suggests that only 34% of youth from low-income homes participate in organized sport. That's half the rate of youth from higher-income homes. Kids in low-income communities have the least access to fields, courts, pools, parks, and programs. It's therefore important for us, as the leaders in the room, to build programs and environments that attract more children, keep them involved for longer periods of their life, and allow them to play with kids from a broader range of backgrounds. Because doing so holds the prospect of helping us address one of our most challenging social problems: poverty. In a recent study of 72 million American social media users, economic connectedness, or the friendships our children have with members of a different social class, was the largest single predictor of later life success for underserved youth. You see, when youth from low-income homes get to see the way their peers lived, they gain new perspectives and allies. Maybe the parent of a peer who can help them with college applications or a job reference down the road. So how might we knock down walls and build bridges so we can ensure that sport realizes its full potential? This is where families come in. Parents should seek to have their children participate on teams with kids from diverse backgrounds and under the care of coaches who prioritize their personal development and well-being. Youth sport is too important not to care. Our kids are too important not to care. And in paying homage to my good friend, she's in the audience, Linda Flanagan, it's time for our families to take back the game. Thank you.